Well, it's time yet again to call the officer in Colorado that filed the traffic report. I'm camped just outside of Lake Havasu in Arizona, and it is raining out today, so I thought today would be the perfect day to accomplish two things. Go through my comments in YouTube and answer some questions, so it'll be frequently asked questions, and also to give you a status update on a few things that people have been asking me about in real life as well as in the comments. Here you can see the nice rain and the mud. It's supposed to rain all day today and clear up tomorrow. One thing I do like is how green it is. There's all sorts of little wildflowers out there, and it is green everywhere. The first question that people have been asking me in real life, camping near me and as I've been wandering around town and in Walmart, is what is the status on my driver's license and all the problems I've been having with Colorado DMV. So let me give you an update on that. Well, it's time yet again to call the officer in Colorado that filed the traffic report with the whole incident of the bear. I'll list that above. There's like 3 episodes now, maybe 4 that I've done on my channel of this ongoing issue with Colorado DMV blocking me getting a license in Florida and registration in Florida because of a traffic report that was incorrectly filed. So basically, in recap, what's happened was there was a report, a traffic incident filed for me hitting a bear, and they didn't include my vehicle insurance. And because of that, I was blocked from getting a license and registration in Florida, which I'd flown down there for. And then I had to get the officer to submit my insurance on the vehicle, but apparently there was a second problem with the report, and the vehicle that he had listed on the report was not my current step van, but a vehicle that I had owned for 2 short months the previous year, and that was my box van. And I'll link the episode above where I purchased my box truck that I had before the step van and that I sold, and I transferred the plates from that to my current vehicle. So that was block number 2, that the VIN did not match on the report, so Colorado DMV was still keeping a block on the whole process. So the officer has to file yet again a correction. This is correction number 2 to the report, to put the correct step van in the report, matching the insurance so that I can get the block removed. So it's just been crazy, and I've made about 3 or 4 calls to this officer trying to get him to submit this second report. So I'm calling yet again today to try to see if I can get him to file this report. So let's see what's going on. Hi, this is 7 Gray, the guy with the step van and the whole bear incident. Wanted to check.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to check and see how we stand on getting that report filed again.
It's should be going through the mail, but right now the valley's in a blizzard.
Oh, wow. You're getting lots of snow up there.
We've got about 3 feet.
Jeez.
And it's calling to snow like this for at least till Thursday. So, yeah, I'm out on my day off making sure everybody's driving safe.
Wow. That sounds crazy. I feel fortunate to be down here in Arizona just with it sprinkling rain.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the rain.
Well, thank you so much for your time and attention in refiling this report. Should I just...
Not a problem. Anything I could, yeah, you just have to wait, and I don't know how long with the blizzard the way it is, how long it's going to get the mail to where it needs to go, so.
Okay, well, I'll check in with Colorado DMV probably mid-next week and see if it's there. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a good week. Please be safe out there in the snow.
I will. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. Bye. Wow, what a nice guy. He's just super nice on the phone. He's the kind of officer that I would want to have out there on the streets dealing with the public, dealing with criminals. Somebody who has a heart, compassion, just a great guy. And I think he's just overwhelmed by the system and the paperwork involved. So I'm just trying to be patient with that. Anyway, so hopefully everything's resolved. I'm going to call next week to Colorado DMV and find out if his new report contains all the information to get that block removed so I can continue and move forward. Behind me over here is my new Verizon Hotspot. I'll link the episode above where I purchased that, so I thought I'd do an update and let you know how that's going. It's been about 6 weeks now that I've had my Hotspot, and the new Verizon service was $65 a month for unlimited data, no throttling, so they claim. And it's network managed, and that means that if the network's full, you're going to get lower speeds, and if there's nobody else on the network, then you're going to get faster speeds. I've done this before. This is the famous speed test that you do to check and see how your connection is. So it's, I don't know, about 9:30 in the morning right now. So my speeds have typically been pretty good. Now I'm getting 317 milliseconds for ping, which is pretty darn slow and pretty miserable. Not happy about that. And for the last month or so, I've been getting these dismally slow speeds. Look at that. That's 0.06, 0.05, and that's data coming down. That's just absolutely terrible. That's almost like no connection. I have trouble loading basic web pages. And I'm getting about 4 or 5 megabits going up, which is fine. That's okay. That's great for uploading videos. But this is absolutely dismally slow. Just terrible, terrible service. And this has been ongoing for 4 or 5 weeks with rare exceptions. Now, I might expect those kinds of speeds if I was out in the national forest or a great distance from a city, but I am probably only 1.5 miles from a tower. I can clearly see the tower just outside my rig here. I'm very, very close. And if I go close to a tower, still the same thing. I'm not really seeing any difference in the speeds. It's terrible, terrible service or terrible speeds. And I don't really know what the problem is. When I look at my signal strength, it's great. I'm getting like 4 bars. Any of you that have the same jetpack, the 8800L, and are using the $65 a month, please write some comments below. Let me know if you're having experiences like this. Another question I've been getting is about the mattress here. I purchased a mattress, probably 3 months ago, and I'll link that episode above. This mattress is absolutely fabulous. I love it, love it, love it. I just can't express how amazing it is for me. I mean, I'm overselling. I'm not being sponsored. I'm not being paid. It's just a great mattress. And I would never have known about it unless Jax would have mentioned that he slept on one that Badge had. And anyway, so thank you, Badge. Thank you, Jax, for pointing me in the right direction for this memory foam mattress. I'll link the episode above for that and a link down below so you can check it out if you're interested in this particular mattress. Okay, here's a question from Phyllis in Dallas in the comments. She says she's looking at shuttle buses to purchase one, and she's reluctant to get one that is a diesel. So she asks, if you had to do it all over again and had a choice, would you get a diesel? The answer is absolutely. I really strongly believe that for larger vehicles, that diesel is the way to go. So anything like Class C or larger, say a 24-foot vehicle or larger than that, I would say diesel is definitely the way to go. And the reason I believe that is twofold. One is for more power, that you get power for going up hills, climbing mountains, things like that, hauling larger loads. The second is for durability in the actual build of the engine. I believe, like the Cummins engine and my understanding of CAT and International, is these engines are built for durability, 500,000 miles, 1 million miles. And so your repairs may cost twice as much, but overall, your durability for the vehicle is longer, particularly if you're doing a custom build like I have here. All of this stuff you see in the background, putting that much effort into building your own tiny house on wheels, to me it makes sense to have a better transmission and engine in it instead of driving a vehicle for 3 or 4 years and then getting a new vehicle because you hit 200,000 miles. I think it makes sense to buy a vehicle that's good for 500,000 miles to 1 million miles when you build it out so that you have that durability and you're not losing your home or having to drop a whole new engine in it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on diesel versus gas. Here's a question from Vagabond Days. He asks, what kind of fuel mileage do you get in your step van? I get about 13, roughly 12, 13 miles per gallon, which is pretty good, but I also drive a little bit slower than most people. I drive at 50 to 55 on the freeway. So that gives you an idea of my fuel mileage. Another question from one Detroit rider. He asks, am I going to finish the wood walls like the one you see back here? He sees gaps in the walls. The answer to that is yes. This is actually cedar fence siding that I've put up there, and there's some little gaps right at the edge, at the end of each wall where it didn't quite fit the boards. So I will be closing those in, but I've got some plans to put some sort of cupboards or shelves right above the countertops. And I want to get those into place first before I figure out where the wall's going to end and how I'm going to close that gap. Here's another question from Vagabond Days, and he's asking about a Snap-on truck, a tool truck that I looked at. It was a step van, and it's one of my most viewed videos. I'll put a link above to that. But anyway, he asks, I'm wondering if you wish the Snap-on truck would have been in better shape, because I took a pass on that and I bought this step van. Well, I would say, yeah, I wish it would have been in better shape when I got up there. Basically, the photos that he had supplied me were from when he bought it 5 years previously, and he'd let it just decline, and it was really in poor condition and really rusted out. If it would have been rust-free and in mint condition, I would have bought it. In hindsight, 2 years later, after living in this step van, I'm glad that I took a pass on that, and I think this is the better vehicle. The walls on that were made out of a real thick, like fiberglass type structure, and so they're very, very heavy. That's good for sound insulation and durability, but the aluminum is much lighter and much more durable in my opinion. So I'm glad I got this step van. I would eventually like to add the lift gate to the back of it. I would love to have AC in here. Both of those things the Snap-on tool step van did have, and I don't have. Well, I think that's enough content probably for this video. I don't want to bore you too much with just questions and answers and talking about what things are going on with me. In the future, I think what I'd like to do is I will put up a little graphic in two areas on my Facebook/fan page. I guess that's what they call it. It's Seven Wanders the World. You can look for that. And I'll put up a little graphic or something on Instagram. Again, Seven Wanders the World. And just put up a notification a few days in advance, like 4 or 5 days in advance prior to doing one of these videos. That way I can go through and look at a list of questions to address in a video. It'd be a lot easier than me searching through comments, trying to find questions there and trying to remember frequently asked questions that I get. That's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Savor the moment, and I'll see you in the next video.